Let me know.
Action.
Okay. All right, so the brain has got two hemispheres. You got a left and a right hemisphere. The brain has got 5 lobes to it. The lobes correspond to the different parts of the skull. We have a frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, occipital lobe, and then tucked underneath is the insular lobe. These grooves here are called gyri, and then these folds are called gyri, and then the grooves in between are called sulci. So we have the gyri, and then the grooves in between are called the sulci. We then have different components to our brain. The outer part with the gyri and the sulci, that is known as the cerebrum. Cerebrum is where all of our higher faculties are: thinking, awareness, math, reasoning, memory, all of that is. Here is called the corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is myelinated tissue. It connects the left and the right hemispheres. Below that, we have what is known as the hypothalamus. The thalamus region. The thalamus is the central relay station, along with the fornix and the pineal gland. It makes up what is known as the diencephalon. So we got the thalamus, which is the central relay station. All incoming sensory information except for smell first comes to the thalamus. Below that is the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is where we control things like hunger, thirst, body temperature, things like that. And then back here, this is called the pineal gland. The pineal gland regulates diurnal rhythms. This is the gland that tells you when it's time to wake up and when it's time to go to sleep. This is primarily regulated by ultraviolet radiation. When the sun comes up, the pineal gland tells you it's time to wake up. When the sun goes down, the pineal gland tells you it's time to go to sleep. That's why humans have a hard time adjusting to being nocturnal. Below the diencephalon, we have the cerebellum and brainstem. The cerebellum primarily regulates or helps coordinate muscular action. So damage to the cerebellum will cause people to have spastic, jerky motions or be slightly clumsy. This white stuff on the inside of the cerebellum is known as the arbor vitae. We then have the brainstem. The brainstem has 2 parts to it, the pons, and then the medulla oblongata. These 2 parts of the brain help regulate breathing and heart. So this is what keeps the heart pumping regularly and what regulates heartbeat, heart rate, as well as the depth and rate of ventilation. Even slight damage to the brainstem will cause instantaneous death. We also have right here, this is called the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland regulates the endocrine system. Incoming information comes from the thalamus, then goes to the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus will release hormones, which will then tell the pituitary gland to release a wide variety of hormones, which will then regulate other glands in the body, like the pancreas, the adrenal glands, the liver, and so on and so forth. So those are the major parts of the brain. Also, we have the lateral ventricles, the 3rd ventricle, 4th ventricle, and then the cerebral aqueduct. These are all the parts you need to know for the quiz on Tuesday.